the next couple of weeks, we're going to be doing a bit of algebra. Okay, so if we have a look at this one, what we're asked to do is we're asked to gather terms. Okay, we're asked to gather terms and write it as a simplified expression, they will say. What they mean by that is you look at this, there's a 4p there, that's what we call a p term. There is a plus 3p there. Now remember, I'm circling it with the plus, because remember, the sign immediately to the left of it is what goes with the term. So that's plus 3p. If we look at this 4p1 there, if there's no sign put next to it and it's the first term, remember it stands for plus 4p. So what we've got to start off with, we look at those two, and similarly with the numbers, that goes with the 7, and the minus goes with the 2. We can rearrange these, okay? So if I swap these two bits over, then what we have is we have, you don't have to put the plus 4p in, you can just write p, it stands for plus 4p, plus 3p plus 7 take away 2. Remember with these, we can only combine what we call like terms. That means, do you see, this is what we call a p term. This is a p term as well. Whereas these are just numbers, aren't they? There's 7 and there's minus 2. Okay? So the numbers can combine and the p terms can combine, but you can't, because we're adding or subtracting, combine the numbers and p terms, okay? They stay separate. So you can only add these terms together and these terms together. If we look at that, look, 4p plus 3p would give me 7p. That's the p term combined. Then we have 7 take away 2 would leave me with plus 5. We would have to stop at this stage. There's nothing further we can do to that. That's what we'd call its simplified version. Okay, now with something like that, I am happy for you to go straight to this bit here and write down an answer. Okay, so with these sorts of questions, I don't mind you writing down an answer. Okay, let's look at the second one now. First of all, if we write B, I mean 1B. It's just we don't normally put the 1 in there. Similarly, A is 1A. Okay? Now here, we have this is what we call an A term. It's the bit that's got A in it. This bit also has A in it. So when we're adding or subtracting, we can combine these two bits, but I can't add on that bit because it's a different term. It's a B term, isn't it, that one? So that one would be separate. Now, I can write these, I could reorder it if I want to. What I've got is I've got 3A plus 1A plus 1B. Well, look, 3A plus 1A is 4A, isn't it? So the A terms combine to give you 4. There is only one B term, so we don't have to do anything with that. The only little thing is, rather than 1B, we just write B. Okay? In algebra, we wouldn't write 1B, we'd just write B. Okay, that's when we're adding or subtracting with terms. The next two bits I'm going to look at are when we're multiplying. Again, I will remind you that if we write x, we really mean 1x. So if I did this, that would give me, now when we're multiplying, we can think of that as 4 times x times 1 times x. Let's do them separately, the two bits. if I do 4 times 1, it just gives me 4, doesn't it? But look, x times x, we have a special way of writing x times x, if you remember, and that's we put a 2 up there. That means x times x, okay? That's what it stands for. So this one would stand for 4x squared. If we have a look at this one, yeah, that's 3 times y times y. Remember what we said. Y times y, we write as y squared. So we'd write that as 3y squared. Because we don't normally show times signs in algebra. We'd normally, with this bit, if we wanted 3 times y, we just write 3y. Yeah? Remember, 3 times y equals 3y. Okay? So that's a bit of what we call simplifying. Here, when we're adding or subtracting, remember, we've got to look for like terms. Okay? When we're multiplying, it doesn't have to be like terms, because if I look at it, okay, what if I took, I'll do another example here, look, fifth one. If I had 4a times 5b, I can do that, because all it is 4 times a times 5 times b. Now we could combine here the 4 times 5, because it just gives us 20. Yeah, 4 times 5, 20. But here, AB, A times B would just write as AB. Yeah? There's no A times A or B times B, so there's no squareds involved in this. That would just give us 20AB. So it's, remember, we've got to have what we call like terms to combine if we're adding or subtracting. But if we're multiplying, we don't have to do that, but we need to remember if I write 4x, I mean 4 times x, okay? And if I wanted x times x, I show that by putting a squared. If it had been x times x times x, I'd have to put a little 3 up there to show that, okay? That's what these stand for. Right, I hope you'll be able to have a go at the first exercise. When you finish that, if you could mark it and just submit a photograph of your work. That would be great. Have a good day.